Alright, so finally back at it. Was able to break out of the virtual reality and put down the Oculus. So today we're finally building that Rakon chassis on the Inductrix FPV. So that's one of the boxes I 3D printed. Nice enclosure for the Inductrix, keeps it safe. Alright, so take this out as delicately as possible. Once everything's put together, it's a little bit more rigid, but that little carbon fiber chassis plate by itself, I don't want to snap any legs off. Okay, so bag of spare parts, throw that to the side. Here we have our battery trays. And first things first, I'm going to start dismantling this guy. Alright, so we have 3 screws. That back one's going to be a pain to get into because it's recessed really deep within the body. I have to figure that one off of camera. I might have to cut it off. We'll see. Alright, so that's what I ended up doing. Cut it off the back. So I'm going to snap that off. Sorry, hands are in the way. Alright, so we're clear. We have one cable holding the camera assembly. Disconnect that and everything is free to go with the board. So 4 screws each side of that board, or 1 screw each side of that board, so 4 total. Releases the board, allow us to move it around. Alright, off the rubber grommets. So now we're going to disconnect the motors and make sure not to lose the little rubber elastic. It's going to keep the wire tension in there. So our board is free. Throw that to the side. And now onto our motors. Let's see, try not to lose those. Pop off the prop. Remove that little plastic piece I was talking about, and the motor, you just push through, make sure not to break that wire. There you go, nice and simple. I'll do another one here. There's a gap to stick your fingers in, and you should be able to pull out the motor from that point. Snug, but not glued. It's doable. Alright. So we are free with the motor. Throw that to the side and back with the assembly. So now we have the motor pods. 3 screws. Is going to remove the retainer. I'm sorry, I tried to zoom in and get you guys some better footage of that, but it's really hard to see. It's tiny. So 3 screws. Open up our pod. Good thing my eyes are still pretty good for the small stuff. It's tiny. Magnetic tip screwdriver. Very handy for something like this as well. Alright. Just fish the lead through. Wiggle the can side to side. And this one here, I'm not going to lie, quite a bit snugger than it was in the plastic. But very much doable. You got to fiddle it in side to side. Once you get past that first ridge, I find the motor slides in fine afterwards. Alright, sorry. It's hard to get that on camera. So, motor is in the pod. I'll put the pod back in. And just going to reassemble here. Line ourselves up as much as possible. And this is the last thing you want to get cross-threaded because it's done. Not that much material to work with, so slow and steady wins the race. Alright. Got one in. The rest of them are easy. There we go. And one more after this. Perfect. It's going to be nice to not have the motors pop out. The pod's going to hold it nice and secure. And now we have 3 more screws on the outer ring. And that's what's going to connect the pods to the frame itself. So 3. I guess I should mention it now. Out of those three, the middle one is going to be a little bit longer. Once I put it onto the chassis, you're going to see. But those two pieces happen to interface together, and that's where the battery tray goes. So without the longer screw in there, it's not going to clear with the thickness of the battery tray. Right, so first screw in. Line ourselves up for the next outer one. And I'll go ahead and insert the middle one there, which I'm going to have to take out afterwards. But right there, going across the next one is where the battery tray, or one leg of the battery tray, is going to be. So, finish that up off camera. As always, just saving time. Rinse, lather, repeat. There's not much to it. Alright. So, motor pods installed, complete. Battery tray underneath there, as you can see. Put our little elastics back to hold the wiring in. Line ourselves up with the board, see where we want to be. And for this application, we're going to be using the double-sided tape that was supplied here. A little bit bigger than what it needs to be. I'm going to cut and trim the excess, so that way the motor connectors are not going to be covered. I don't want to impede those connections. There we go. Sorry, we're off camera here. But we just took it off. Gave herself, I guess, like a little bit of a diamond shape. There you go. Nothing fancy. Line yourselves up. The board does have an arrow for the direction. And if you remember the direction when you're taking everything apart, you can tell by the motor pods. You have two motor pods that are light gray at the base, and then two of them are white. Sorry, not the motor pod, but the motor itself. If you lose orientation. So, there you go. Motors are in, board's in. We're just going to reassemble the, or reconnect them, as you can tell. Big goofy fingers are hard for that. Should have got the tweezers out. But we're managing. Pop that in there. Got our next lead here. I twist it up like that so I'd remember my orientation before I noticed that the motor can had the gray and white bottom. Right, so we're untangled. Final one's in. Done like dinner. So now here, the reassembly of the, I guess the body portion, that might be a tad bit different because now our mounting holes are gone. So we're going to reconnect the FPV system to the power. And mock ourselves up here, see where we're sitting. We do have two holes on the side here, but I don't think we're going to be able to reach. There's not much material to connect here. So you're going to cut off little tabs from the original chassis. So it's going to give us a little bit more plastic to get contact with. So now we have something for that screw to grab onto. Done and done. So the Inductrix FPV with the newly installed Rakon Heli chassis. Nice and clean. Live to fly another day. So we'll be at it soon, guys. Thanks for watching. Please thumbs up and subscribe.